So, hello and welcome to the latest episodes of the Advanced Business Show, where each week we discuss with a guest we have some way, somehow to get you advanced in life, in your career, and in your business. And this episode, I'm having Kealan with me to talk us about reaching success and achieve goals in your life. So, Mr. Kealan, I would like first to thank you for coming to the show, and I hope that you are doing very well.
Thank you so much for having me on. I'm doing good. Life is in a good place and it's busy, and I'm delighted that you asked me to come on.
Our pleasure for sure to have you. All right. So, Mr. Kealan, can you just please give us a brief bio about yourself, what you do, what's your work, and so on?
Yeah. So I am a blacksmith, soldier, entrepreneur, author, and father. And my company is a media company. We've got a lot of different aspects to what we do, but we help a lot of startup businesses obtain an online presence and give them marketing plans and strategies, as well as provide web work and video work. I also have my podcast, which is part of a tool that I use to communicate with an audience. And in my spare time, I do a lot of endurance events, running and swimming and all that kind of stuff. So that's a brief summary about me.
I see, I see. So you are like working with other people's, maybe trying to take people from their desire, their imagined state to actually achieving it in life and doing it for real.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, I started as a blacksmith, a tradesman, a single parent. Um, Ended up in a rough place in my life a couple of years ago where I was homeless with my son. And I created like my way and learned tools and skills that got me from where I was then to where I am now. So if I find people are suitable in character and in mind for the ways in which I teach, I try and help people on their journey.
I see, I see. Well, hopefully you can help our listeners in this episodes to reach what they desire. So,
Yeah.
Mr. Killen, like why people like to set goal in life and like try to achieve them and reach them.
Why people in general or why me?
Everyone, even you, like if you can tell
Yeah.
us.
Well, look, first of all, I don't believe that everybody actually sets their goals because depending which studies you follow, up to 86.7% of the world's population are not happy in the career or the position they're in life. So I personally do not believe that people set their goals. I do not believe that they set them high enough. And I also believe personally that as well as when they do set their goals, that they don't set micro goals along the way to measure their success and failures. Because if you're not measuring along the way of this journey, you don't know when you're succeeding. And you definitely don't know when you're failing until you fail so incredibly bad that your life burns around you and you've lost everything. So I think it's important for people to goal set, but I think that there is a way in how we evaluate information and self-educate ourselves and position ourselves to be happy that is not widely taught or understood that that is the process in which we must undergo. I think often people go, I have an idea, I want this great job, but it's not specific. It's like if you tell me your goal is I want to lose weight, you lose 1 pound, your goal is achieved. I want to make more money, I'll give you €5, your goal is achieved. If you don't set specific goals high enough, you will not get them. And I think a lot of people don't actually do this.
I see. So this actually brings us to my next question. Like how a person can find his goals in life or what he desire.
You need to go and find the people that are in the position that you want to be in or have come from the same circumstances that are relatable to yours. You need to find the way to connect with them and basically start learning everything you can, ask these people, what did they do? What did they learn? How did they get there? How can you leverage a relationship to another one, get you to introduce me to someone who introduces me to someone. And networking, putting yourself out there and taking action, because a lot of people don't do it. They, again, come up with an idea, maybe send 1 or 2 emails, don't get a response, and stop, It's like me right now when I'm trying to contact people who are, you could say, higher up the ladder than me. Maybe they're getting, I know one guy and he's getting maybe over 1,000 emails a day. So I make sure that I'm sending him 20, 30 emails a day, just so that my emails register at some stage. He's going to see them in all the crowd. You only send 1 email or 1 call or contact the secretary. You do it once or twice. They don't know who you are. They don't know if you're serious. They're not going to take time to research you. You have to put yourself out there so that you can start creating the opportunities you're looking for. And I can't emphasize enough how important it is for you to seek out those circumstances and create them, because they won't come to you. They will not knock on your door and go, "Hi, how are you?" There you go. It's not how the world works.
I see. So they need, let's say, keep trying until they succeed. It's not gonna come maybe easy from the first shot or the first try. It's gonna take like a process to reach there, and like do what actually needed to achieve that goal.
Which is stepping out of your comfort zone enormously. It will go against the dominant thinking of your family, your friends, everything you know. It is a lonely, hard road, but it is worth it. But you will fail your way all the way to success.
Yes, for sure, for sure. So, how actually a person, like, let's say a person has come and he thought about some goal. Let's say he start maybe to do an action plan toward that goal. How he can actually monitor the progress and see like I'm actually achieving this goal or not.
Measure everything out. If you say you want a podcast, you need to say, okay, I have to contact 20 people per day to try and get them on as a guest. I need to contact 50 influencers. I need to contact 100 gateway people. That means I need to spend, it takes me 5 minutes to write and send an email. That means I need to spend this many hours sending emails. That means I need to spend this many hours researching guests. That means I need to spend this many hours reaching out to influencers. And it's very easy. Once you sit down and you write that out, you will see what your discretionary hours are and how you're using that time. Once you do that for a period of time, you will then start to see what is the conversions. Out of how many emails am I getting a response? Out of how many responses is it converting to a sale, a podcast, a seminar, whatever the thing you're looking to get the outcome for. And once you start measuring those results out, you know then what the next day is, what the next day is. And before you know it, you know what the 3-month goal cycles are. And then you know what the 6-month goal cycles are. And then before you know it, you can predict up to 5 years ahead.
I
So you
see.
have to measure things.
Mhm. We have to measure, we have to see where we're going, how many, let's say, website visitors I'm getting, how many conversions in my mailing list, and so on.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay, so a person, let's say that he started to set goals and he monitored his progress and so on. Do you think that he need to talk about his goals with other and share them with others, or he just like keep it to himself what he's doing?
Share them, and I'll tell you why. Because only when you start putting yourself out there do you start being able to receive. Okay, I've had some of the best opportunities come my way from some of the worst things happening to me getting shown on, say, social media or somebody hearing about it, you know? So you need to put yourself out there, because it's like the lotto. If you're not in it, you cannot win it. You know, if my goal is to impact 10 million people and I want them to hear a message, well, if I don't say that to anybody, well, nobody's going to know. But if I tell 5,000 people, maybe one of those people is somebody who has a big platform that goes, why does this guy want to impact 10 million people? That's an interesting statement. And then we look into him. And then before you know it, you have an invitation onto us, a podcast that has 1.9 million followers. Suddenly your goals start to come through and you get a bigger funnel and you access more people. Definitely affirm your goals, set them, and don't be shy to back them up and present them, because you have to have confidence in it. If you're not willing to turn around and tell people, I'm going to do this, you won't do it. And a very good example of that, it doesn't matter if you agree or disagree with the politics, but Barack Obama said he was going to be the first black president of the United States when he was 19, you know? So you have to be able to say things out, see them, picture them, create the success path. And if you want, wanting something on its own is not enough. You can't say, I want a jet airplane, sit on your hands and expect it to come on the driveway. But if you, and it's not about having a plane or something superficial, but by saying you want that, the path that it will take to achieve it along the way will teach you 147 other things you need to know for a greater success. By setting that standard and saying it and committing to it, you have a higher chance of actually carrying it through. If I tell you I'm going to break the Guinness World Record for the longest time in ice, you're going to keep up with me. You're going to see if I'm going to do it. You're going to check in with me. If I don't tell anybody and I'm having a bad day, I'll go training tomorrow. Nobody knows. It doesn't need to happen. Whereas if 600 people are checking my social media to see, has he gone training today? You need to go and do it today. So it has an oscillating effect where they work together to help create that success.
I see, but like some people maybe think that other people will envy them, other people will dislike them because they are putting goals and trying to achieving while the other people are not. So like how you can handle this negativity?
Yeah, very simple. You learn not to give a shit. And I hate to be blunt, but you have to, okay? Caring what other people think is worse than having a noose around your neck. Arnold Schwarzenegger said if he had to listen to everybody that told him what to do in life, he'd still be yodeling in the mountains of Austria. He would never have gone and done everything, okay? If I would have listened to all the things I was told, I would never have gone on to do stuff. I mean, look, you cannot escape this world without pissing people off, whether it's because you do something wrong and you're going to do something wrong every now and again. You're human, you will make mistakes. There will be people there to jump on you for that. It doesn't matter, even if you do nothing wrong, something you say will be taken out of context. But here's the thing about critics, okay? There's a couple of high level things I want to say about that. First of all, someone said to me actually that the difference between love and hate is actually, it's indifference is what's between them. It's a lack of understanding. And it's like a message that gets disturbed along the way and the ego gets involved and things get out of control, okay? Now, if you look at humanity, you've never ever seen somebody hate down. You only see people hate one way, and that's up. You've never seen somebody hate on the homeless guy on the street. You know, maybe somebody privately might say, oh, homeless people are scumbags, but that says more about them. They're not brave enough to say it publicly. But publicly, people will hate upwards, no problem. You show me any politician, any religious figure, any presidential candidate, or any actor or singer, I will show you 10,000 of their haters. You will not get out of the world without doing it. It's just anything that exists in life exists in polarities. And the sooner you can come to terms with that and accept that and not get worried about it, the sooner you will be able to step into your greatness. Because the other thing about haters is the same groups don't always last. And I've gone through this as well. Maybe, and it happens and they repeat sometimes. But the thing is this, they come around, they make a lot of noise. It's normally a small group of people, the same people, if you check the software and the analytics, you can actually check that maybe it's only 4 or 5 accounts or 20 accounts coming from one IP address. So someone goes and makes up 20, you know, it's a lot of noise. And then next week or the week after or 6 weeks later, they stop and they go to the next person and the next big scandal, a coronavirus, the next Donald Trump tweet, the next vaccine scandal, whatever it is. Haters are not even loyal. So what are you going to do? Are you going to stop and change all of your content, change who you are, change your personality, change your message, go, oh, okay, I'm going to be a good boy or a good girl, and I'm going to make sure I keep everybody happy. And then 8 weeks later, those people are gone to the next problem. So be true to you, do what you believe in. And look, it comes with a cost, but with great positioning comes great sacrifice. It's like if you advertise a product to children, you know, like a bouncy castle, you're probably not going to get 75-year-old old age pensioners. You know, there's polarities and you have to accept that. And when you accept that, you can move forward, you can step into greatness in your life.
I see. So now, what do you think that uh, the difference between when a person set a goal, like, and actually achieve them, because they say, I should do that, instead of saying, I must do that. So, like,
I,
huh.
I think language is very important, how you talk to yourself, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because it sets the tone. It sets how your intention is on the matter. Now, look, I'm not saying to be delusional, but you again, there's actually a whole method in how you put out intentions and affirmations. So let me give you an example. When I went to run 900 miles, I didn't say I'm attempting. I said I will run 900 miles. So that set the tone, how I was going to do it, that I was going to do it. I don't believe in plan Bs. If you've got a plan B, you give yourself an escape. I'm not saying don't have contingencies for if things go wrong, but what I mean is don't switch the plan completely. I'm going to run 900 miles. The contingency is it might take me longer than I thought, but I'm still going to do it. Plan B is not, I'm going to sit at home instead and play the computer. So very big difference. Now, when you talk about setting intentions of other things dramatically bigger than you, don't say, I will be a billionaire. I'm just picking money as a silly example, right? But I'm just picking it for a second. You know, that might not be what happens, but you can say, I'm enjoying the process of creating wealth that gives me and my family opportunities. All of that is true. And then as that process starts happening, you can determine and put some more specifics into it, you know, because it's like once you make 1,000,000, it's like, okay, I've enjoyed the process. I now enjoy the process of creating 100 million. Yeah, and then you can kind of start measuring it. But you have to make sure whether it's a physical goal, a sporting goal, a financial goal, a family goal, you have to make sure that when you set it, that where you are and where you want to go, the distance doesn't crush you on the journey. You know, if you're homeless and you want to be a billionaire, it's like that might not seem foreseeable. But if you say, I want to create wealth, and I'm going to start with, I want to get a steady income. I want to rent an apartment. I want to get a job. Then I want to maybe buy my own apartment. And then you set the micro goals and create your critical or success path.
I see. So don't try to do it just one shot, big goal, everything all the time. Just like try to cut it into small tasks, maybe, and try to reach them.
If I ask you, there's a boulder and it weighs 1 ton, and I want you to put it on the roof of the house, that's a pretty hard thing to ask you to do. But if you come along and you break off little pieces and bring them up one piece at a time, it might take you a while, but eventually you'll get the 1 ton boulder on the roof. So break it down into manageable goals.
I see. So now, how can I actually help somebody achieve their goals?
Well, kind of like religion, There's no one religion that suits the whole world. There's no one answer here. But I think a very good starting point is to understand that nobody is coming to save you and give it to you easy. It is you. Everything in your life, it is your responsibility and it is your choice. Even if you have a business deal that screws you out of 500,000, you know, you can sit and take two choices. You can think about how you're going to find your business partner and kick his ass and worry and lawyers and letters. And but while you're doing all that, your business is going under. You know, so what I mean about taking ownership and being responsible for your choices, you can go, I have a problem. It's maybe unfair that I'm here, but I have to deal with it and then get to work on dealing with it. So the same, everybody who's listening who wants to create a business, a podcast, a hobby, a goal, a program, take up a sport, a martial arts, whatever it is, you have to do it. There's never a perfect time. There's never ever an easy time to make a hard decision. It's like having a baby. It's like nobody plans perfectly for it, you know. It's like, but once you have one, you can make it work, and it suddenly everything starts moving. But you have to take action, and you have to do it, not anyone else.
I see. So now, many people set many goals and they just like never achieved it and never reach it. Why do you think that?
Why? Because most people are not honest with themselves about where they are in life. Everybody has two voices in their head. They've got one voice that tells them, yeah, you're doing a good job. You're doing good. You worked 8 hours today. Take 2 hours off. Watch YouTube for 3 hours. And then the other voice is telling you, no, man, you have to go to ground zero. You need to start over here with the rock pile in the corner and start building. The thing is, it's comfortable and it's easy for people, and there's a mentality of passing the responsibility to somebody else. That's why. And there's a lot of people, and they might go, yeah, but Kealan, my mom died. I divorced. I lost this. I lost that. I've heard it all, and I've been through a lot of this. And look, here's the thing. It doesn't take away from the fact that you might be right, but 80% of the people don't care, and 20% are happy. Bad things are happening to you and not them. So again, when you're 2-3 years further and you've talked about doing something, you haven't succeeded, you need to sit down and reassess, what am I doing that is not being productive? And it's probably the people that you have around you and the circumstances and the patterns that you're keeping yourself in is stopping you from doing something new.
I see. So now, can you actually like have your kids like set their goals and like can you help them with the process or not?
The people listening, or did you say kids? I just missed a part of your sentence.
Yes. Can you help your own kids with setting their goals and if
Oh,
like
yeah.
if they want to do goals and so on?
Of course you can. Yeah, but that parenting is a whole other world as well. And the one thing that I know from having obviously been a child and had parents, as well as having my son, it is important that you teach them to evaluate information correctly. So whatever the goal is, I mean, my children would never ever have to do the same things I did. You know, they've got no shadow that they have to fulfill. They don't have to live up to their father's reputation. If my son decided to be a yogi on a mountain and disconnect from society, as long as he's genuinely happy, I don't mind what he does. But in order for your children to be able to set goals that are outside of just what you want, I think you need to spend time to expose your children to the world. Not just your way of doing things, not the community, not the culture, not the religion, not the country, the world. Because what you do in one country here is illegal in another one here. What you do in one culture here is unacceptable, but over here it's perfectly okay. Only when you get a big measure of experience can you make a true decision what you want in your life. So if you're trying to get your children to set goals and successes, give them as much information and experience of the world as you can. And, just as a parent, go, here's what I did. Here's what went wrong for me. Here's what I think you should do. Here's the information, and do it, whatever you want. And just be there to pick them up when they fall flat on their face.
I see. So now, can my last question, like, can you do some maybe affirmation or morning routines for the goals that you set, so like you don't forget them and so on?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's two things I'll share with you. One, well, three. One, as soon as you wake up your eyes, as soon as you wake up and open your eyes, be grateful for the day that you have. So be grateful. That's the first one. Okay? Because you're waking up and a lot of other people aren't. Or they're maybe waking up and have to go into a wheelchair. Or, so look, wake up, open your eyes, be grateful. Second thing is make your bed, because you set the standard for the day. You've made your bed. You've done something where I didn't like doing this, so that's why I started doing it. You've conquered something. Whatever else goes wrong in the day, when you come back to your bed, you come back to the intention you started your day with, and you have control over that. And the next thing I do is I go for a run. And the reason I do that is because I do not like running. So again, it's that extra confirmation of setting an intention and achieving it. So they're the first three things I do, and they set the standard for the day. And leave your phone away for the first hour of the day, so that whatever bad news is on your phone, is on social media, is on the news, is in an email, it doesn't rock your world at the beginning of the day. So do those things, and just those things alone, and it will be a very good way to start changing your mindset. Once you make these improvements in the small areas of your life, and you learn how to put your morning and your own day in order, it will incrementally improve throughout the rest of your life. And likewise, if you can put yourself in order, that's the best way you can help put the world in order.
I see, I see. So, like, can you tell us a little bit about like your podcast and like your current business? So, if like other people would like to be on board with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Kealan Harrington, Kealan Harrington, Harrington. If you Google me, you can find me nearly on every platform. And the brand, the business is called Going the Ultra Mile. And if you type that in to any search engine, it will pull up YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, yeah, all of them. So it's very easy to find and connect with me. And yeah, I'd be more than happy for anybody who's to drop me a line if they feel they heard some value today and they want to discuss anything any further.
I see, and also for the listeners, we will leave like Kaylin socials and website and so on in the description. So if you would like to connect with them and like be with him. So Kaylin, before we end, do you have any last thoughts or anything you would like to share with the listeners?
Something I say a lot, but I'm a firm believer in it. If you show me your friends, I will show you your future. Right? You are the average of 5 people that you keep around you. So if you're looking to make changes, start with changing the people you have around you. Now, I don't mean that they're bad people, but you know, if you're not where you want to be in your life and everybody else in your life is in that same position, the chances of you changing that pattern and those mechanisms and circumstances are very slim. Once you kind of change that about you, if you're the smartest person in your group, you need a new group. You need to be climbing the ladder. You need to be positioning yourself where you want to be. So I think that sentence, because when someone told me it hit me like a train. Show me your friends, I will show you your future.
I see. So for our listeners, try to associate yourself with someone that can take you higher and to the next level. So,
Mhm.
Mr. Ken, we would like to thank you again for being in the show. And also, again, for the listeners, we will leave all the links in the description below. We thank everybody for coming to this episode of the Advanced Business Show. And we hope everybody success and advancing in their life.